But while we've been showing the game all over the place, Ryan holds his fingers.
Oh, because you were going to segue to Brian, right?
Yes.
Before you do, we should probably mention our the little bit of love that we got in the UK Daily Guardian.
Yes, it was awesome.
It was.
It was awesome. It was so awesome.
So for all you Brits out there, or anybody in Europe, there was a story about video games podcasts in the Daily Guardian, which I guess is one of the larger newspapers out there. It wasn't the most flattering piece, but it did mention Insomniac and Bungie as being two major studios that have developer driven podcasts, and that they're somewhat informative when we're not. What was the quote? When we're not backslapping each other and saying "awesome" a lot. I couldn't tell if that. I don't think we say "awesome" that much.
I say it all the time, actually.
Do you?
I'm trying to wean myself off of it. That and next gen. Those are like the two words.
Right.
For whatever reason.
Next gen.
It's like Pee-wee's Playhouse or something. Next gen.
Yeah.
I had
Must end soon.
I think it was. I think it was Shaq News asked me. It literally asked me the question, and it's a Penny Arcade reference, but. They asked me in an interview, and they didn't put it in the interview in the Q&A, which I was kind of disappointed in. But literally, the question was, "So, how awesome is Ratchet and Clank Future?"
No, they did. You said so awesome.
I did say so awesome, but I don't think it was in the transcript, was it?
I don't know.
It wasn't in the actual interview, but like that was a question asked. It was like, "So, how awesome is Ratchet and Clank Future?" I'm just like, "So awesome." But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. I was laughing. Yeah. I'm like, "Can you link my answer to the comics so that people don't think I'm a douche?" But anyways,
is that one of those words? Can we say that word? Is that one of the FCC 7?
Douche?
No, I'm just kidding.
I hope not.
I'm just joking.
All right, so we've been showing the game all over the place. We're going to be showing the game, continuing to show the game. I think you're going to.
Yes.
You're going there.
Yeah.
I think Brian's going to Tokyo. It sounds like
That's
Possibly.
a possibility. That's the rumor.
Yeah.
Various sales conferences with the retailers and all that.
Uh-huh.
This is it's on the road time. It's road show time.
Yeah, and that means it's fun to try and get you guys all in a room to record this thing every few weeks. But we also are working on a game, apparently.
We are
showing.
Yes,
and
we are.
awesome.
We are. It is awesome, and we're just doing an amazing job at it. I want to slap you both on the backs
Yay,
for
back patting.
work well done. Actually, we are in the midst of working towards our final Gold Master, and that's the one that we will submit to Sony and then to manufacturing at some point. But we've been struggling with some really big bugs and some big issues, and these are the kind of things that kind of rear their ugly heads at the end. We've had this kind of mysterious crash that would occur as you play into the game, and we had to try to track it down. We knew it was audio related, and we found an audio expert from Sony who flew up and tried to help kind of narrow down, what the issue was and where the problem was located. And we finally figured out that it was actually an animation issue. And I don't really know the deeper workings of it, but there was some problem that occurred early on in the game with the animation system, and then it slowly snowballed into a problem later that showed up as an audio issue. And so it was kind of like finding, the needle in a haystack. And actually, Johnny Garrett from our engine team managed to find the problem and fix it. So with that out of the way, we can actually now listen to the game again and track down various audio bugs and resolve those. Another kind of crazy issue that came up was we actually ran out of space on a Blu-ray disc. We passed the 25 gig mark, and we actually had to find some more space. And a lot of this was due to having 15 languages with a lot of audio, and that really kind of pushed us over the edge. And we also found that we were using the same piece of audio in multiple spots, and so we could actually scale back and consolidate the audio and move the data around so that we could get under the 25 gig mark.
So this is the part of the conversation where I jump in with a little bit of experience on talking about Blu-ray disc size after Resistance: Fall of Man. What Brian is talking about is not indicative of what the final game size will be. We haven't compressed anything yet. We're not saying that the game will exceed a 25 gig threshold by any stretch. It's just where it was at in the production process. So before anybody starts writing that we're going to blow up a Blu-ray disc, that is not the case. This is just very early in the final stages. At a preliminary level, where we were at in terms of that initial space estimate.
Yeah, I mean, we've actually managed to free up several gigs to fix that issue. So it fluctuates back and forth. And so as we manage to better figure out where to put our data and not have issues where we're having the same data across the disk, we can fix stuff like that.
Right. But what is cool, though, is talking about like having 15 languages on one disk. It's pretty crazy.
It is crazy, yes.
And I believe that the cutscenes for Japan, some of those are customized as well.
Right. As most of you probably know, there's a special version of Ratchet that's only seen in Japan, actually in the Asian territories. And actually, Ratchet has these very large, thick, bushy eyebrows, and he's got a much more saturated palette and a lot of reflection in his eyes. And so the character's actually known for having big eyebrows in Japan. That's kind of his little trademark.
He's like the Martin Scorsese of Lombaxes.
Yeah, right, or the Groucho Marx.
Right.
Yeah. So we have HD movies specifically with that Ratchet rendered in some of them for all of our for the MPEGs that we have. So that takes up a lot of space.